Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to RAWBall Monday.
Number
We're
15, my lucky number.
here. We are here. Took a little break last week due to circumstances unforeseen and out of our control, but we are
We'll
back
just say
this
we'll
week.
just say Memorial Day. We took Memorial Day off.
Yeah, we
I'm
took
at
Memorial
it.
Day off. It was a long weekend, but we're here this week. I am the captain, joined by my little brothers, Matthew Laws and Devin Laws, the one and ones of ones, El Incognito, Denver and Six, the Porcelain Prince, and the Big Matt Boski. Uh, I would go through all of your names, but
There's too
we got
many
a
of them
show to
at
do.
this point.
Yeah, at this point. How the fuck is Monday treating you?
Just been on dating apps since I've been up.
I've
I mean,
been
I check my dating apps a couple times a day just to see, what things are looking like. But it's kind of slim pickings these days.
I've been
And
really diving into the Mortal Kombat lore as of late. That
As
shit
you
Maddie,
is
should.
Maddie, you're not on the dating apps. What are you doing? I mean, that's what we do for fun. I mean,
Monogamy.
yeah, I was about to say monogamy's got me, but I'm happy with it.
well, you monogamistic son of a bitch.
It's okay. I got blood and gore to satiate my lust. Oh
So
shit, we're
Dev's
live.
been on the dating apps. Maddie's been doing what? Hello, Dave.
Dave, you beautiful
Hello, Dave.
bastard.
Hello, boss.
Today, like I said, I haven't been doing shit. I've just been playing Mortal Kombat, getting into the lore a lot deeper.
Are you playing 11 or X?
11, but I will say MLB The Show 2023. I just started up a new character,
Another one?
Smokey Joe Rock.
Smokey Joe Rock.
Smokey
the
Joe Rock.
The two-way third base pitcher.
Okay.
I've got 10 dingers with him in like 5 games.
Maddie's
okay.
all about the dingers.
All about them swamp donkeys.
Swamp
All about
donkeys
the-
and cock shots.
Swamp donkeys and cock shots. See, there's another piece. Like I could really in this right now. Swamp donkeys and cock shots.
Mahogany is a beautiful word.
For those of you who didn't watch last night, we found that moist is one of those words that kind of people way Dave inserted burnt bread.
Moist
So,
burnt
Oh
bread.
my lord, that one was amazing.
All
moist
because I
burnt
burnt a
bread.
bagel.
That's horrible.
You
yeah.
burned a bagel? How the fuck do you burn a bagel? They're like one of the easiest things to toast.
No, it was because the first setting didn't fucking toast at all, and then I put in for another one and just nuked the bitch. It didn't want to make up its mind.
Okay, you've got these two things, these eyes, then you've got these two
Oh,
nostrils. You
I
watch,
put
you
it-
smell.
Nope, I put them in and I was watching the games.
We should rename you Bagel Burner at this
Bagel
point.
burner.
But we do have some interesting news to kick the show off. And I'm going to let Maddie kind of take the helm on this one because this is kind of his territory. The NFL is investigating a member of the Indianapolis Colts over possible betting. The name of the player has not been released. The Colts have not acknowledged the name of the player. Both sides know, but nobody's saying who the player is. But apparently, we have another betting scandal going on in the NFL.
Lovely.
This article dropped 2 hours ago. So I think we covered it a little bit a couple shows ago, but FanDuel and DraftKings might be the biggest snitches on the planet because they just be handing back over to the NFL that these players are betting. But I digress. So recently we've seen suspensions of anywhere from six games in the NFL to Calvin Ridley missing a season and a fucking half.
Yeah?
Well, the thing is, it's not about gambling. It's about gambling on your own sport. And it's like, what is it about it that these guys don't get? Like, bet on NBA, bet on baseball, bet on hockey, bet on soccer.
Like that's the one thing
bet on NFL football.
That is the one thing that I don't understand in this is like, yes, these players They're getting caught for betting on games.
Are you drinking a juice box?
You damn right. Kool-Aid Jam.
Kool-Aid Jammer. They're good as shit.
I'm old. I'm tired.
Yeah, I was about to say Devin's showing his age there, but
You drink them too, son of a bitch.
I do enjoy myself a Kool-Aid Jammer every now and then.
I haven't drank a juice box since before I started sprouting pubes. I'm sorry.
Well, you're missing out.
Oh, dude, no, they're juice boxes. Dive back into them. Some of them are fucking good.
They hit different.
The Colts player appears to have made the wagers through an account opened by an acquaintance, unquote. Quote, there is evidence the Colts player placed hundreds of wagers.
Bro, just bet on another fucking sport. There's hundreds, thousands.
It's like okay, let's say let's just in a blue moon shot here.
Throw me
There
an
were
MLB.
there was podcast betting, and I said, boys, bet on anything you want except podcasts.
Okay, just don't
And then
bet on
Dev goes
podcasts
out
anymore.
and starts betting on podcasts. It's like you did the
Devin
one
starts betting
thing.
on Cultaholic or something.
Yes, like you did the one thing you were told not to do, and that's been a golden rule in every sport, even before draft.
Betting.
Even before that, the golden rule always was: do not bet on the games.
I was about to say it's why Pete Rose isn't in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and probably won't be until after he's dead.
Like this shit is ridiculous. All you guys have to do
Is don't do something.
don't bet on your sport. You've got the NBA. You've got the MLB.
Exactly.
You've got fucking
Somebody's TV is way loud right now.
I think that's my background noise or my TV because I was playing the game. Give me a second.
Turn your dick down.
But like, if I were in the MLB, you're not gonna catch me betting on the MLB. I'll still be betting on the NFL and the NBA for
Yeah, you're an intelligent human being, Matthew. That's part of the reason why I wanted to have you as a friend because here's this kid, but yeah, he's fucking smart.
Oh, okay. Now, hold on.
Ooh.
I've not seen this.
I was about to say if this report just came out, I have a question for you guys. Does Dalvin Cook make Miami a legitimate threat in the West or in the East?
How old
I
is
could see
Dalvin
it.
Cook? Well, he's a running back. Let's check his age. And Dalvin Cook has a lot of miles. He's 27 years old, which is about the age running backs start to break down.
But with someone like Tua, if he's healthy, those are three very dangerous weapons.
No, but there's also the old rule, the 1800 touch rule. Once a running back hits either 1800 touches or 27, 28 years of age, that's when shit starts to go south.
Unless you're Frank Gore, there's
That was boxing.
there's exceptions to the rule. I think Dalvin Cook, given his health, he hasn't been hurt a lot. Dalvin Cook might be able to make it to at least, good couple of years.
Dalvin Cook has 1,503 career touches, so he has 1 year left. So
Matt.
if Dalvin Cook,
So apparently Russ was going to be an Eagle before he was going to be a Bronco, and he declined it.
Okay.
And we all know what happened for the Eagles last year. They went to the Super Bowl.
I'd say it was a win for him.
Shut up, Devin.
You shut up.
I'm wearing his jersey right now. Leave me alone.
I know, and I bet you're sad.
Cowboys owner Jerry Jones still hasn't ruled out the team re-signing. Why has nobody jumped at Zeke Elliott? Given a good run scheme, he might.
Because it's Zeke. He is a problem child. He presents nothing but problems.
Give him the right scheme, and he might do well. Bring him to Denver. Fuck it.
Given the right insane asylum, he might do well.
Bring him to Denver.
So Denver.
But yeah, Dalvin Cook probably has 1 year left. I would give him one. He's at 1,500 career touches. He's 27. I give him one more. He's got 1 year left of legit production before he starts to fall to shit.
Yeah, so if he plays for a team such as Miami, which they already people are giving them like, either third or second in the East already as is, which is ridiculous to me because Josh Allen. But
Well, speaking of Josh Allen and the AFC East,
another story.
Interesting.
Ooh, this is very, very interesting. Bill's getting a new stadium.
Ooh.
supposed to be open for the 2026 season. It is going to be an open air stadium.
The NFL needs a lot more of these open air stadiums because they've been doing a lot more domes, and I don't like it.
Well, Minnesota should be an open air stadium.
Because the weather is definitely
Why not take advantage of that?
Exactly. Chicago does it. Denver does it. Fucking.
No, Denver's new stadium is going to be a dome.
I heard about that, and you have no idea how depressed that makes me because the skyline of the stadium with the mountains, like to be able to see the mountains from the stadium is a fucking shot. Is a scene.
I think we'll eventually know the NFL is going to eventually mandate every single team has to have a roof because they don't want weather playing a part in cutting down points. Eventually, the NFL is going to mandate every stadium has to be retractable roof or closed or something like that.
Well, I mean, are they going to implement universal grass for the stadiums? Because we've seen how the field dictates certain games already.
It won't shock me if so this is 2023. Let's say in 10 years, roughly plus minus 10 years. I think NFL is going to mandate every stadium has to have a closed roof with a certain kind of turf.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to eventually get to because you notice how they schedule. Okay. Yeah. Well, look at Miami. They never scheduled Miami to have too many home games in September because it's fucking hot as shit. They never schedule games for colder teams in December at home because it's cold as shit.
Well, I was going to say, you also you look at certain advantages as well, like the Cowboys at home. They wear their usual away jerseys. They wear white at home because it's fucking hot in Dallas. That makes it hotter for their opponents. Miami, Hard Rock Stadium, they literally built it so that the away team's bench is in the fucking sunlight.
Yeah, that's why they never scheduled games there in September. That's why Miami plays most of its home games later in the year.
Use your advantages. Putting domes in these certain places, like putting a dome in Denver, sucks. Putting an open-air stadium in Buffalo rocks because you can still get those insane weather games.
Well, we can't do that because if Patrick Mahomes has to go play in the AFC title game, we can't have Patrick Mahomes having to deal with snow and cold weather and wind. We can't have that.
I could give a fuck less about him or his shithead brother.
The TikTok star.
Hey, David, who would win in a fight, Jackson Mahomes or Devin? Which little brother would win in a fight?
No questions.
I'll take Devin because Devin is going to chew the guy's fucking dick off if he has to.
I'll bite his dick off.
I'll grab his dick and twist it. Give him the good old dick twist.
Devin will fight dirty if he has to.
Well, he learned from me, so I'm one of the dirtiest heel players in the game.
But not as dirty as the Cap. The amount of dirty I will go to is limitless.
I'll take a motherfucker's eye.
Cap will knock you out and fuck you in that order.
Shut up, Davey. I know the fuck. Why would you have to do the entire name for the Tampa Bay Rays? Tampa Bay Devil Rays of Florida, USA beat the Boston Red Sox.
Well, Tampa's wanted to move for a long time.
Well, at least get them a new stadium. Tropicana Field is your fucking default stadium in like a college baseball game.
Well, yeah. The thing is it's where it's located in Tampa. It's just damn near impossible. Are you drinking another goddamn juice box?
Mm-hmm. Same flavor too. This shit good.
You are a child.
I'm a big fucking child then.
That's
You are a big fucking child. That's why I would never get into a fight with you. I want you on my side. But still, here's some more NFL news after a Dallas Cowboy got arrested. Surprise, surprise.
Antonio Callaway got arrested. Oh my God! What did you do this time, stupid ass?
Let's see here. What was the arrest over? Driving with a suspended license. So nothing too egregious.
How are you going to be an NFL player with a suspended license?
Man, I tell you what, man, my agent fucked me, man. My lawyer fucked me, man.
How are you going to be an NFL player but have a suspended license?
You're an idiot.
I'm sorry, but yeah, like, just be smarter. No, Devin would totally beat someone's ass with a fucking loaf of burnt moist bread.
Oh fuck yeah!
Devin would fucking
give me a sock with just cold butter.
Devin would beat somebody's ass just by being Devin because
we'll do it for fun.
For those of you who have never met the clientele here on the show, Maddie is like
yo soy small boy.
Short, spindly, burnt legs. Dev is built like a fucking fire plug. Dev is a thick wagum. Like he's not that
grown man.
Dev is not that tall, but he is fucking thick. Dev will fucking run at you and spear your ass in half.
If he gets a hold of me, I genuinely can't do anything.
Whereas Cap is just, tall, broad, wide.
You've got your height to your advantage.
I'm tall, I'm broad, I'm encompassing,
Cap has equal girth to length ratio.
Yes, I have equal girth to length ratio.
At least you ain't a chode like Devin. He's short and thick.
But this chode will demolish you.
Yeah, but
suck up your insides.
Dev has rearranged some guts in his day. Let's put it that way.
Captain was abroad. Wouldn't put it past him.
Dev,
captains have to move up to get to the captain.
Don't help Dave out. Dave does enough damage on his own.
I have a song for you, Davey. Listen to The Oldest Profession by the Jolly Rogers. You'll get a kick out of it.
Oh, that's a great song.
Prostitution?
Exactly.
Prostitution.
So here is probably our last big NFL story of the day. Contract talks between Justin Herbert and the Chargers still ongoing. He has not gotten his extension yet.
Guys,
that
is your fucking franchise quarterback. If you let him slip through your fingers, this is the biggest fuck you Spanos that could happen.
It's fucking Spanos, man. It's like, how in the world are these contracts still ongoing? Like, you're literally...
Give him $200 million for 5 years.
It's like you still literally...
quarterback.
You can't see that without Justin Herbert, your team is...
I genuinely think 5 years for $200 million is worth for Justin Herbert. From what I've seen and from what that kid has done,
I'd give him 7 years, 300.
Yeah, with what I've seen, with what that kid has done, he deserves at minimum $200 million for 5 years.
So now this is Los Angeles Chargers coach Brandon Staley described contract negotiations with quarterback Justin Herbert as, quote, ongoing, end quote, on Monday ahead of teeing off at the team's charity golf tournament. Herbert, who was unable to participate in the scramble as he continues to recover from off-season left shoulder non-throwing shoulder surgery, said he did not believe much had changed since he last provided an update in April during the NFL draft, but expressed continued faith in the organization. Quote, they've done such a great job of taking care of us, and my message really hasn't changed, unquote, Herbert said. Quote, It has been an honor to be a part of this team. It's great to come to events like this, and whatever happens, happens. It's out of my control at this point. Fucking Spanos is a goddamn idiot.
So I'm with Davey here because I literally like I'm not even joking. Just typed this in, just pulled this up. Danny Jones is getting 4 years, $60 million.
4 years, 160.
Yeah,
You can't give Herbert 5 at 200.
You cannot give him 5 years for $200 million. If you can't do that, and I know that the Chargers have that money because they moved to Los Angeles.
They pay nothing to play in that stadium. They are basically
the fucking Rams.
Yes, they are basically they pay rent, like a very tiny amount of rent.
Give Herbert 5 years, $200 million. I hate saying that as a Denver Broncos fan because I really don't want to see the Chargers do good.
Send him to us! Give him to me! Give me Herbert!
Fuck you. If anything, Herbert going to David over in New England because that's exactly what Belichick's looking for. That is exactly what Belichick is looking for. A white quarterback that can move and throw fucking 60 yards on a fucking dime.
Give me the Herbie. I will take Herbie Hancock over Jimmy G any day. No, Dave, shut the fuck up. Keep that shit out of the universe.
It's the only logical solution for... Okay, Devin just dipped out. It's the only logical solution.
Give me the Hibby.
It is the only logical solution for if Herbert leaves the Chargers. Is he's going to either New England or he's going to the opposite end and he's going just a little bit further north and he's going to San Francisco. But if you're fucking smart and you have money like the Los Angeles Chargers do, give Herbert the contract he wants because he's going to play for a championship at least 2 out of those 5 years you give him that contract.
This is Spanos. This is why we love Utree. This is why he is such a god among men, is because can you imagine the Chargers of San Diego somehow fucking this up and letting Herbert walk? Do you realize that where he goes, he is going to be a stud superstar?
Legit.
Fuck my phone.
If you, all right, let's be logical here. If you give
with Spanos, I don't think that's possible.
No. Like if Herbert leaves, if Herbert goes to, say, San Francisco,
year 4.
What was that
for Herbert? Is this year? Because because rookies have a 4-year contract with a 5th-year option. Is this his 4th year or his 5th year? Have they exercised the option? What are we doing here?
I think this is his 3rd year.
Oh, it's got to be his 4th. It's got to be his 4th.
Right. Justin Herbert got drafted in the 2020 draft, so this will be his 3rd year.
Okay.
No. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. This is year 4.
Yep. This is his 4th year.
So they can exercise that 5th-year option, or they can re-sign him. They can extend him. So they can still option him for that 5th year.
They could.
And technically keep him under contract through 2024.
If so, they've at least got him for 1 more year. At least.
2. No, 2. Oh, they have him for 2.
Okay. Unless
his 5th-year option is matched or exceeded by another team that he wants to go to.
Okay.
They have him for this year, but 2024 they can either exercise their option, trade him, or another team can come in and raise the bar.
As a Broncos fan, it would be the most insane thing to see someone like Justin Herbert go on the free agency market. Like if they can't come to a deal, Devin, I don't even want to think about that. We at least got a whole nother draft class we can throw picks from now. But We got more draft picks to waste, baby. It's time to start trading again.
Hey, y'all still have Judy though.
You still got Judy. You still got Sutton. You still got Russ. I don't know what else the Broncos have at this point.
I think that's it.
Judy, we got Sutton. No, we got Javonte Williams coming back from his fucking ACL tear. If he can fucking run still, that kid is a fucking wrecking ball. Like a Derrick Henry-like running back. Like, I'm not even joking.
Optimism.
No, this is legitimate. With what I've seen with Javonte Williams, he could be a Derrick Henry-like.
No, your birth was legitimate. These Super Bowl hopes is popping out of a hooker's pussy. You don't get much more illegitimate than that. This is, Newt and Lonesome Dove just popping out of Maggie's womb. Not my Maggie, the other Maggie.
So,
I'm trying to find the goddamn White Sox game on the fucking MLB net. I pay a shitload of money every year so that I can watch the White Sox, and I'm having trouble finding the White Sox game on MLB TV. So I'm getting kind of pissed here.
According to my app, which I'm on currently, it says the game starts in 5 minutes.
Yes, and I've yet to see them. I can't find the fucking White Sox. I pay a good chunk of money for this every year so I can watch them pretty much all the time whenever I want. Not that it's fun or pleasurable or enjoyable like my ex-wife, but I still kind of bound.
Speaking of a game that I've got on, I'm definitely watching Game of the Week with the Oakland Athletics at the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay, so, before we get into the MLB, I've got an NBA story to throw out. Obviously, the series is now tied 1-1 between Miami and Denver, but there was a story on NBA.com that came out today that I want to get Maddie's take on.
I'm worried. I don't want to hear about it. All right, let's see. Let's see what this motherfucker has to say. He calls out their effort.
Oh shit, the White Sox are not playing tonight.
They're not?
Well,
did it get rained out? Because it's supposed to be tonight.
Apparently. So I'm going to have to switch to a different game. Cardinals and Rangers, they have first pitch in about an hour or so. Athletics, Pirates, Tigers, Phillies, fuck that. Athletics, Pirates, I might take a look at. Brewers, Reds, yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch the fourth quarter. I watched up until the third quarter, and then I got distracted. We lost by 3 points. But what I didn't know is, however, we gave up 68.8% on the court, giving up 36 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
If we would have played even a minuscule amount of defense, we probably would have won game 2. And giving up damn near 40 points in one quarter shows no defensive effort. I'm with Michael Malone on this one. That is unbecoming of a team that literally shut out and fucking swept the Lakers with LeBron.
So we've got game 3, which is going to be in Miami. Game 4, which is going to be in Miami.
Miami is also red hot for the Heat making it back. Also, Jimmy Butler making it to his first ever finals appearance is something for them to watch.
So game 3 and game 4 are in Miami. Where is game 5 in Denver?
So if game 4 or game 3, game 4 are going to be in Miami, that means game 5 is going to be in Denver. Game 6 will be in Miami if it happens, and game
7 will go to Denver. Yeah. Okay, so it's tied 1-1. What if it comes back to Denver with Miami up 3-1? Does Denver have enough to?
Hold on. Let me.
Can Denver split the series in Miami?
All right, so I'm going to go back to our series with the Grizzlies. I believe that was, yeah. So we kind of put the hurt on. Oh, no, the Grizzlies played the Lakers. Oh, we played the Jazz. That's who we fucking played. So that was a 4-game series, it looks like. The Nuggets have swept both the Lakers and the Jazz going into the finals.
Against an 8 seed, Miami.
Now,
And Denver's a 1 seed.
it's happened before.
Careful, Matthew. Careful. Choose thine words carefully.
I am. It's happened before. An 8th seed has totally come back and beaten a 1 seed before in the finals. I'm pretty sure it happened a couple seasons ago.
Cap has taken these just bar whores. Yes, these things have happened, but they don't happen that often.
They don't happen often. So 1-1, we're going to Miami. I highly think we're going to split the series in Miami. So it's going to be 1 game to Miami, 1 game to Denver. Coming back to Denver for game 5.
It's 2-2, tied at 2-2.
So coming back to Denver for game 5, I see us winning just off of crowd momentum alone. Like the crowd is going to will us. We saw Jason Tatum put up 50 points in front of Boston just because they were in Boston. I can totally see Jamal Murray going off or Jokic going off for at least 40 points in Denver to get us that win.
Jokic goes off for 40. I think they're winning. I don't think he can play that well and then lose.
Now, game 6, back in Miami, potentially. That is the one that worries me, but I see us winning somehow. I see us winning in game 6. Like it says right here, Denver in 6. I see us getting the final win in Miami. And I hate to say that because Jimmy Butler is going to be looked at as someone who can't finish in the playoffs. But
I'm not liking my phone today.
But Denver...
The Porcelain Prince has returned.
But Denver...
Dev, I have to ask, not to interrupt you. I want to hear the rest of your thoughts on this, Maddie. But Dev, do you do anything to your hair when you, or is it just does that?
It just does it. If anything, this.
How does Mrs. Dev handle that?
She loves it.
Hey, is Sky around? Can she fuck with your hair real quick? Like, just start ripping you by your head?
Do it to myself.
No, it doesn't work when you do it to yourself. I need Sky.
It doesn't work.
She's in the room right now.
But anyway, Matt, continue with your soliloquy on how the Nuggets got this.
I think we got this. I think we got this. This is the only chance in NBA history that the Nuggets have had a chance. I think this is going to be the chance Denver needs to win not just their first appearance.
What the fuck are you eating, Devin?
Oh,
a popsicle. It's hot.
You have got to be like 12 years old internally.
I mean, to be fair with Devin, we do live in a state where 80 degrees is melting.
It's 90 degrees here with 60% humidity, and I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, no, I'd be naked if I could be.
Same.
Well, you were kind of prancing around the apartment in September in just your jorts, so I will kind of throw that
And I only wore gym shorts during, I think, both St. Louis and San Antonio.
I mean, to be fair, Devin.
I'm actually kind of afraid to invite one of the Laws brothers down here in Arkansas in like July because you guys will just be prancing around with your schnuts hanging out.
You'd be lucky if I'm wearing clothes, Cap. It get hot.
Trust me, until you've experienced an Arkansas summer where it's about 100 degrees and about 80.
We're from a little bit north of Arkansas. We're from that ass end of Missouri.
100 degrees and about 80% humidity. Yeah.
We lived in Missouri. Me and Devin were actually walking the streets on Missouri's West Plains hottest day in history.
And yet you say you're not beach people.
No, I absolutely hate the heat. We were wanting pizza from Little Caesars, so we got wings and pizza from Little Caesars.
So we do have a sad story to report from the MLB.
Well,
Michael Soroka.
He was arguably the best pitching prospect in baseball about 2 years ago.
Oh, I remember him. He pitched for the
Braves.
Not just the Braves. He started out with the Rays.
He tore the same Achilles tendon twice.
Damn.
The same Achilles tendon twice. And has now, after 2 starts, been optioned to AAA.
Didn't he just get like 6 strikeouts in his last performance?
Yep, but look at his other stats.
I have not. I'm pulling it up right now.
This kid was essentially supposed to be the next Greg Maddux. And
oh, dude, I remember when he was in Tampa Bay, he was lighting up not just the minor leagues, but when he came up several years ago, he was insane.
Yeah, and then he tore his Achilles. He tore it, it healed, then he tore it again.
Oakland is up 1-0 with no outs. In the top.
So Mike Soroka optioned to AAA Gwinnett, which Tony Schiavone is actually still the announcer of.
Wait, Tony Schiavone still does minor league?
He's the play-by-play announcer for AAA Gwinnett.
That's insane because I thought he would have gotten like exclusively signed to AEW.
Same.
So Mike Soroka.
Damn, Davey had him.
You don't want to necessarily say his career in the majors is over because never say never, but my God.
It does suck. Like, we've seen pitchers like Tyler Glasnow get Tommy John and not pitch the same again. We've seen pitchers like Craig Kimbrell, one of the
Here's the thing. Tommy John it's not a cure-all. It's only about 80 to 85%. So there are guys who
have, but like you look at people like Tyler Glasnow, he's fallen off heavy after a severe injury.
Here's a story for Dev's Cardinals.
Oh, lovely.
Ugh.
So it looks as if Albert Pujols has been named special assistant to the Major League Baseball commissioner.
Which is insane. That means he's like the assistant to fucking to what's his name himself, Manfred, right?
Yeah, Manfred, who is the worst commissioner in the history of baseball.
But with somebody that's been in the league for that long, he's probably going to come at Manfred with a completely different approach to things. At least I would hope. I would hope Albert Pujols isn't some fucking brown-nosing kiss ass.
Well, we've got another Cardinals story. Damn, Dev, you're just dominating the news.
Apparently so.
Well, just wait until we hear that Lamar Jackson tore his fucking ACL or something. Isn't Wainwright on the mound tonight?
Yep. Adam Wainwright, quote, urgency wouldn't hurt. Yeah, the Cardinals have been dog shit this year. Um, essentially being predicted to dominate the pitcher. Adam Wainwright says a little urgency wouldn't hurt.
Well, where exactly is he wanting the urgency? From the bats, or is he wanting the urgency from the pitchers? Like, is he wanting more strikeouts? Wainwright, you were never a strikeout guy, but
No, just some urgency from the entire team. Like hey, we're in the shit right now. We want to get into the playoffs. We got to turn things around and fucking quick.
yeah, and fast.
Speaking of teams who need to turn things around and fucking quick, the Red Sox DFA'd Raimel Tapia
Damn, that makes me sad.
and activate Christian Arroyo from the injured list. The Red Sox presently are in the absolute cellar of the American League East, 12 games out of first place.
That's not good.
With although a +9 run differential.
It means something, I guess.
Well, while we're at it, let's take a look at the standings. The Rays are up 4.5 on the Orioles. Trailing behind them, the Yankees are 6.5 back. Blue Jays 9. Red Sox 12 games out of first place. So we'll start there with the American League East. Maddie, getting into MLB news. You're our resident Red Sox fan. So is Dave. And we mentioned this a little bit on the show last night. And even I said, like, I can't make heads or tails of the Red Sox this year. Like,
fucking bullpen, bro.
They do well. Bullpen. They do shitty. It's like they are like there is nothing consistent about the Red Sox.
No consistency. Like Chris Sale's been putting out his best performances of the last couple of years.
No, he's on the IL now.
Yeah, I know he's hurt now, but he'd been putting out some of his best performances of the last couple of years recently. And whenever the reliever comes in, what do? They shit the bed. If we have a good quality start, it's never followed up by a solid, safe reliever. And we've got fucking one hell of a closer in Kenley Jansen, but if we don't have anybody to protect that lead going into Jansen, we don't have Jansen. And it's not on the fault of our bats either. Like, we've got some of the highest on-base percentage I've seen maybe in some of the majors.
So going to the American League Central, the Twins lead the division over the Guardians by 3.5 and the Tigers by 3.5. So we got the Twins in first place, Guardians and Tigers tied for second with 3.5 back. White Sox are 5.5 back. Royals are 12.5.
How are we as bad as the Royals in terms of divisional play?
Well, okay, let's look at the record. The Sox are 30-30. The Royals are 18-41.
And it's still 12.5 back. I don't want to hear it.
The AL East is an insanely tough division. The AL Central is a quagmire. The White Sox just can't pitch.
It's kind of like looking at the SEC versus the Mountain West division.
All I can say at this point is the White Sox with a -47 run, even with a 3-game win streak, 5-5 over our last 10. We're 16-15 at home, 10-20 out of U.S. Cellular Field.
Kopech is doing
guaranteed rate
fucking good for you guys.
Yeah, it won't be for long.
I mean, he's been impressing me on your guys' front.
Well, no, here's the problem. We have no pitching. We have a rotation that consistently, day in, day out, is limiting that don't have starters who are day in, day out going 5-6 innings, limiting the opposing team to 0, 1, or 2 runs. We don't have consistent pitching. And then when we bring in the bullpen, God help us, all hell breaks loose. We don't have the offensive firepower, this was my thought coming into the season. We have to focus on pitching because our offense is not going to be that great.
You guys are much more contact on your guys' batting front.
Yes, we are a contact team, not a power hitting team. Therefore, We need to have an elite pitching staff from top to bottom that is going to limit the opposition to 2-3 runs a game that we can then capitalize on. But Rick Hahn doesn't listen to me. I've emailed him multiple times, displaying my
Have you sent a
dissatisfaction.
rabbit?
I have sent rabbits. I have sent pigeons. I have sent telegrams. I have sent emails. I have sent faxes. I have sent everything possible, but Rick Hahn still does not listen to me, even though I feel I should be the GM of the White Sox, and I could at least make us a decently run organization. Moving to the American League West, the Rangers hold a 3.5 game lead over the Houston Astros. Rangers have been fucking raking. They have a plus 152 run differential, which is best in Major League Baseball.
I was about to say they were an underrated team coming into the season, and I had said that, but I wasn't expecting them to take control of the division. I said that them and the Angels were going to be in the top 2 of the division, and that the Astros would fall to 3rd. But
the Rangers are fucking raking, which is why for our All-Star game coverage, either for the Derby or the game, I want to get Buck Ringgold in because he is a Texas Rangers lifelong fan. I want to get his.
To ask you on the Rangers, how is DeGrom doing?
DeGrom,
up to this point in the season.
I think DeGrom just now got off the injured list. He was hurt for the last month or so.
So they've just been. Is it Eovaldi who's basically been pulling most of their W's?
Eovaldi, Perez, Dunning, those three. But their offense has just been raking, which is why we need to get Buck Ringgold on the show because this guy has followed the Rangers since their inception. He knows that he is a Rangers encyclopedia. So it would be nice to get him on at some point.
So could we call him Ranger Ringgold is what you're saying?
Ranger Ringgold, yeah. Either to get him on the show either during the All-Star break or somehow before to explain what the fuck is going on with the Rangers.
July 10th, July 11th, if you shoot your buddy Buck a message, I'm pretty sure he'd join us during those times.
I've got Buck on speed dial. He was I apprenticed under him for 2 years in college.
So I can guarantee I think we got Buck for at least the Derby since that's on a Monday.
Yeah, Buck will join me anytime I ask. I've known Buck since I was 17 years old. Buck will always join. Although, shout out to my friend Buck. Sorry about Sparkster passing away. Buck actually had to put his dog down this week. Yeah.
We send our condolences, Buck.
So
animals are always members of the family, so rest in peace.
Oh yeah. So finishing off the American League West, the Angels are 8.5 out of first. Mariners are 9.5. I kind of thought the Mariners would be doing a little bit better by this point, but still a lot to play. And then the Athletics.
Mariners are a young team. The Mariners are a young team. It's gonna be one of those things where they're gonna do good, they're gonna do meh. I think give the Mariners another 2 seasons, and they might be atop that division.
They need the Mariners need a little bit of everything. They need 4 or 5 pieces spread across the rotation, the bullpen, and the starting lineup. They need some more pieces, but they've got a good foundation to work with. And then looking at the Oakland Athletics, who are 12-49, 27.5 games out of first. So,
what is the track? What is the trajectory?
So right now they have a .197 win percentage. So let's Dev, pay attention here. Here's how you do math. You take 162, which is the number of games that a team plays, multiplied .197, that is 31.91. So let's just round up to 32. 162 minus 32, that tells us the Oakland Athletics are projected to finish 32-130, which is about 20 games worse than the most horrible team in the history of baseball.
Which were the 60 what Mets?
The 1964 New York Mets. Let me pull up the 1964 Mets. They went 53 and 109.
So that'd be damn near a full 20 full loss.
But that was with that was 100 and no that was with the 162 season. So the worst team of all time that everyone from Mr. Gear on, the 1964 Mets. They won 50. They went 53, 109, and 1. The Oakland Athletics are projected to be 32 and 130. We are talking 20 games worse than the worst team in the history of fucking baseball. That is how goddamn bad the Oakland Athletics are.
And it's because they have nothing. Moneyball has translated to nothing.
So moving to the National League, the Braves are up 3.5 on the Marlins, which I cannot figure out how because the Marlins have been dog shit. They have the Marlins have a negative 37 run differential and are in second place.
While we are here on the Marlins, Cap, go ahead and rant on Sandy Alcantara, as I've actually saw. I believe it was Made the Cut put out a YouTube video earlier today, explaining that this has been the biggest decline in a pitcher he's seen in years.
Yes, Sandy Alcantara won the National League Cy Young last year. And in, let's just call it roughly 2 months into the season this year, Sandy Alcantara has had the worst performance of a previous year's Cy Young winner in history. Now, because I previously, up until yesterday, had him on my fantasy team, I will say, to the partial credit of Sandy Alcantara, having watched the games, the manager of the Marlins leaves him in far longer than he should. But Sandy has still pitched like absolute dog shit. He had a +5 ERA, a +1.2 whip. He is absolute dog. And my brother picked him up in our fantasy league. Hey, Justin, if you're listening, good luck.
So Justin picked him up?
He picked him up, yeah.
Like right away?
Hey, yeah, today, this morning. Hey, if you want a 5+ ERA and a 1 point and a +1.2 whip, hey, please take it. I will hand him to you on a silver platter. The Mets are 30 and 30, 5.5 games out of first. Phillies are 8 back. The Nationals are 10 back. That division is always just a dog shit, whatever. Brewers. I'm actually watching the Brewers and the Reds right now. The Brewers lead the National League Central by a half a game over the Pirates. It's 0-0. The game just started. Pirates are a half game back. Cubs 5.5. Reds are 6 back. Cardinals bringing up the cellar, 25 and 35.
Hey, there's where they were earlier.
Deb, here's where you come in. I'm leaving you out here. So Cardinals presently are 25 and 35, 7.5 games out of first place. They have a losing record at home, a losing record on the road, but while being 3 and 7 in their last 10, still have a +3 run differential.
Hey,
so explain to me, Dev, explain to me how the fuck, or actually let me rephrase that. Why the fuck should we still think of the Cardinals as anything other than just basement dwellers at this point this season? What about the fucking Cardinals is worth watching?
It's a mix up with me right now. It really doesn't know every game. It doesn't know, unless it was the Red Sox when we all watched that. Each game was kind of one-sided. I really don't know where we're going. I don't know where this team is heading this season. I hope it's not staying in the fucking cellar. Astros, Jays.
Yeah,
Damn.
Well, Alek Manoah went from being a top-notch pitcher last year to this year being absolute guttural dog shit.
He was an AL Cy Young candidate last season, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
This is
Alek Manoah
drop-off like fucking Alcantara.
No, Alcantara's dropped off far worse. Alcantara won the Cy Young last year. Manoah had a really good season last year, but not that great. Alcantara won the Cy Young last year. He has fallen to shit. And
Wow.
getting into the National League West, Dave's pick, the Arizona Diamondbacks, as of June the 5th, are tied with the Los Angeles Dodgers for first place in the National League West. So, Dave, if you're listening, kudos to you, my friend, because the Diamondbacks are tied for first with the Dodgers, which I would have never thought.
We talked about it before the season started.
We did.
Diamondbacks have one of the most streaky pitching cores maybe in the MLB. And Zach Gallen has been on a hot streak unlike any other.
Zach Gallen, he has got to come back down to trust me, Zach Gallen has got to come back down to earth.
I don't know what's happening this season. I know
Zach Gallen better than his mother. He is coming back down to earth. Trust me on this.
Ain't that a shame?
Giants in second place or in third place, or tied for first. They're in second place, 5.5. Padres 7.5 back, and the Colorado Rockies 26 and 35, 9.5 back.
Yay!
But the Rockies have a minus 57 run differential and are 4-6 in their last 10. Matthew, please edificate the audience as well as myself. Why should we care about? Explain the Rockies to us, if you would, please.
Outside of Coors Field are better in Coors Field than pitchers in Coors Field normally are. They beat the dog shit out of us at home almost every series.
You should change your Twitter handle to Faithless Optimism. I think that is your new that is your new hashtag, Faithless Optimism.
The Rockies were a team that I think the only chance they had to ever get a World Series was 2007 against the Red Sox.
Agreed.
And what happened during that series, pray tell? Oh, that's right. The Rockies pitchers proceeded to become the Rockies pitchers, and only Ubaldo Jimenez had one good game. Other than that, the Red Sox beat the piss out of the Rockies. That will be the Rockies franchise until they relocate, because guess what? I don't see Denver having a fucking baseball team maybe outside the next 5 years.
We've got an update to our opening story.
Oh?
The player in the gambling probe for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, be Jonathan Taylor.
Is none other than their starting kick returner, Isaiah Rodgers.
Really? Isaiah Rodgers?
I have it. It just broke on ESPN. There you go.
Well, may I just suggest to the Indianapolis Colts, how much money do you think Devin Hester would take to come back to the NFL? Just to return kicks. They don't fucking matter anymore. I mean, if you call a fair catch on the kickoff, it's on the 25 now.
Yeah, that's a new rule change for this year. If you call a fair catch between the goal line and the 25-yard line, it instantly moves it to the 25-yard line.
That does it for just kickoffs, right? It was just kickoffs, right?
Yeah.
Or was that for punt returns as well?
Kickoffs.
Okay.
The kickoff is done.
Because they're essentially killing off the kickoff, and
because players can now, if you're standing on the 25, you can call a fair catch, and you're starting at the 25. You can be call a fair catch. You're starting at 25.
Like it literally makes all kickoffs a touchback from the 25 back, which makes that absolutely. And I'm not going to be PC about this, absolutely fucking retarded.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
if you're going to just
an entire position in the NFL. Like
if you are that fucking petrified of shit, just say no more kickoffs, starts the 25. If you're that fucking petrified, because how many guys in the NFL literally have the the speed and the ability, the shiftiness to take it all the way.
Yeah,
Maybe one or two.
let's hold on. Let's go back because some of
I'm still listening. I'm gonna release.
yeah, some of the more infamous moments in the NFL have been kick returns. Jacoby Jones in the Super Bowl for the Ravens. That's just one. Deshaun Jackson, the miracle at Meadowlands was a punt return. You guys are trying to kill special teams as is. Last season, the game after DeMar Hamlin went down with his heart damn near exploding on the field, the first play of that game was a kickoff, and it was returned for a touchdown. Like, you don't get, like, yeah, you can say it's scripted. You can say script writers own the shit. That's a moment you can't make up. A player almost died on the field, and the next moment you see the Bills on the field, it's a touchdown for a kick return. Like, you take moments away like that from the NFL, you're taking away part of the NFL's magic.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way that I can put that. And, like, yeah, you can be like, oh, but you're limiting the amount of injuries that happen. That's what
For
the
one play.
conditioning coach is for fuck's sake. Can you not run a sprint and then bump into somebody?
Football is not the NBA. It is not for the faint of heart.
And hell, even the NBA ain't for the faint of heart. You're about 200-something pounds always landing back down on your knees and ankles. That fucking takes you out of the game, too. Like,
everything's being as soft as soccer is with the flops and shit.
It's oh, dude, you were pissed off at the NBA game last night.
Oh, I'm getting irritated with how much people are flopping like it's fucking soccer.
Dude, you're gonna see it more in the playoffs too because they're trying to secure that W.
That's why we need more Bill Russells, Will Chamberlains, and Larry Birds. People that just straight dogging on people.
Devin's looking for more Bill Lambiers in the NBA and NFL.
Amon Shumpert dropping people's drums. Yeah.
How is that the 36-year-old in this group agrees more with the 20-year-old in this group than he does with the 45-year-old in this group?
Devin's wanting more Bill Lambiers and Bill Romanowski's roaming the earth.
For real.
Dev just wants more ass kickers because Dev is a natural ass kicker.
Shit's getting boring. I need more violence in my life.
That's why we watch pro wrestling, Devin.
That's not enough.
Go watch GCW. Right?
Not enough. I want to see it in my sports. I want NFL to become Blitz the League.
Fucking hell.
Dev, little brother, I love you. I sympathize with you on these points, but you're going to have to come to the realization of reality that I had to, unfortunately, about 7-8 years ago. Shit is going one way and it ain't going back the other.
Now, hold on. Since it is Pride Month, should we bring up the LA Dodgers issue?
Let's do it.
Let's give
we have the Gay Pride Parade coming up in Fayetteville in about 2 weeks.
I think the one in Denver's coming up in about 2 weeks.
Which, by the way, the Gay Pride Parade here in Fayetteville is always a lot of fun because a lot of ladies.
Oh yeah, I was about to say you get a
free
lot
the
of
nipple.
Free the nits.
Yeah,
like they don't.
Ain't no shame in that.
It's all about pride. That's what those parades are for.
I was actually dating a girl who last year during the parade. Never mind.
But yeah, no. So in the past couple weeks, we have seen the Dodgers reject a group of Pride members,
yes,
welcome them back, and then have players reject them. Cap, I'm gonna leave the floor open so you can just. Because it's
go on your rant.
It's the Dodgers. Hey, Josh, we're here.
Hey, Mansfield.
We're getting ready to rant on the Dodgers. So,
welcome.
Go ahead.
As far as the Dodgers, and because I read the first maybe 2/3 of this story because apparently they extended an invitation, then they pulled it back, then they put it back in again, and now you've got players revolting against it. I am one of those guys who not only am I a big supporter of the LGBTQ community, I'm a dues paying card carrying member of the ACLU and the NAACP. I am absolutely opposed to any kind of discrimination on any
Yeah, we're
level.
all allies here.
And the fact that the Los Angeles Dodgers, in the second biggest baseball market, second biggest sports market in the United States,
It's got the second most teams in national sports.
are taking this particular route saddens me to a big degree. Now, without naming names, without naming names, there are a few members of the Los Angeles Dodger team who are, shall we say, right wing in their beliefs and politics.
Standing on their moral high grounds.
Some of them who are, one of them who is one of my absolute favorite players of all time, and I think will go down as one of the greatest players at his position in all time.
Are we talking about who I'm thinking we're talking about? Mr. 22.
I will not dignify that. While all that being said, Los Angeles Dodgers, this is not a if, will, can, maybe, but situation. This is a do the right fucking thing situation. And even though, now I know the Major League Baseball Players Union is the strongest union in all of professional sports. They can shut down a fucking league if they want
I mean,
to.
it's been proven recently.
Yes. Well, it was proven in 1994, and it was proven during the COVID pandemic, and it was damn near proven again here recently. So there's 3 times in 30 years. But there comes a time when the league and, God forbid, the owners actually take a stance that is proper and correct and say, no, we are not going to be discriminating. We are not going to be bigots. We are not going to be hypocrites. We are not going to be assholes. We are going to extend this invitation with open arms. And if any of you 26 motherfuckers on the active roster in that dugout do or say a goddamn thing, we will throw you off the fucking team.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no room for discrimination. It doesn't matter how good of a fucking player you are.
Well, I'm only surmising that it might have come from that individual because of his very faith-based style of life. I haven't heard a zittle iota out of that person's mouth in regards to this, and I doubt we will because he does so much charity work, so much, and
he's proven himself to be a good guy for the community and for LA.
If it were to come out that he was one of the people on that side, I would be very surprised because I really don't see that coming. If he did, I would understand where it came from based on his personal life, but I seriously doubt it because this guy has been a stalwart example of a human being as long as I have watched him, known him. I have a former friend who played college baseball with him. I tend to believe that 22 for the Dodgers is a legit, decent human being. I may be proven wrong on that. I can. Cap's been proven wrong many a time, mostly by Dave and by Maddie and by Dev and by. Well, anyway. But
Cap's been
yes,
proven wrong is the point.
whomever those players are for the Dodgers who are raising this stink about this,
I mean, we
I
saw it
simply
in the
give you
NHL
the
too.
stone cold Steve Austin response of,
Well, we saw it in the NHL too. Like we saw other players rejecting any type of pride emblems or anything on their uniforms because it didn't fit with their religious beliefs. And I feel like that is an absolute bullshit excuse for saying you're a bigot.
yeah, I would, well, we have a segment on this show called Bring One. And even if this is not that particular segment, I would encourage every single person within the grasp and hearing of my voice to track down and watch the movie Inherit the Wind. It is based off the 1929 Scopes trial in Dayton, Tennessee, in which the legal mind of his era, Clarence Darrow, defended a high school biology teacher against William Jennings Bryan, three-time nominee, Democratic nominee for president, because Darrow's client, uh, John Scopes, was arrested for having taught. Almost lost my train of thought there. Was arrested in public for having taught the theory of Charles Darwin.
Darwinism?
Yeah, he was essentially he was a high school biology teacher
For
who
teaching survival of the fittest?
who taught Darwinism, origin of the species, for teaching evolution. Yes, evolution.
Evolutionary theory.
Because the Tennessee state legislature had passed a law that declared it illegal and punishable by imprisonment for any teacher in a public school to teach evolution. On a wager, this teacher gave a lecture on the theory of evolution and was arrested and charged and convicted in Dayton, Tennessee.
As a wager?
With
For a bet.
there's a bigger story that goes along with it, but essentially the case was eventually overturned by the Tennessee State Supreme Court. He was reinstated and everything, but the little bitty town community had this showdown between Clarence Darrow and William Jennings Bryan. Um, and the movie Inherit the Wind, showcases it. There's an even better documentary on PBS. H.L. Mencken wrote a great book called Summer of the Gods, which he was a witness at the trial and documented everything. But essentially, short story long, it was the trial of the century up until O.J. Simpson, which is coming up on us in about a week.
As you talked about yesterday.
This was the first trial that was ever broadcast nationally on radio, on WGN radio. And it was essentially evolutionism versus creationism.
Wait. So this was on WGN, as in the Chicago-based
Radio. Yes,
radio?
It was the first ever nationally broadcasted trial. This was 1929. And essentially, it came down to the hometown judge who ruled out every single scientific witness of the defense, every biologist, zoologist, archaeologist, and said, all of their testimony disagrees with state law, which says that the Bible is the supreme word. And the defense attorney, Clarence Darrow, who at that point was the Johnny Cochran of his era, like he was the preeminent defense attorney. He called the prosecuting attorney, William Jennings Bryan, who was a Bible beater, to the stand, and he literally ripped him to shreds, going through little bitty details of the Old Testament to the point where he had Brian ranting and raving on the witness stand, looking like a kook. And while, yeah, they were still going to lose the case because the jury was going to find him guilty. He knew they were going to appeal it.
Yeah, I was about to say he was teaching it. He's not going.
Yeah, it was one of those things where he knew he was going to lose, but he had to make the point for the appeal. Like he had to get it in the trial transcript to take it to the next level. But essentially, it was as publicly assassinating these god awful, horrible beliefs that were held by these Neanderthals who were the same people that would have voted for Trump 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. But essentially assassinating every single one of their little bitty held beliefs in front of them. Now, while they weren't about to admit defeat, they still found the poor fucker guilty. Circling back here, this is why the major league office and the Los Angeles Dodgers need to take this stand. They need to take that Clarence Darrow stand and say, regardless of what you fucking heathens, Neanderthals, Bible-beating bigots believe, we are going to do what is right, regardless of what your religious beliefs say you should do, because religion should not govern society. You can have your beliefs, you can pray in peace, you can do whatever you want. We will not stop you.
But why does that mean you have to hate other people?
But your bullshit will not, sink into our world, and you will not be able to discriminate against people. You will not be allowed to be bigots. You will not be allowed to be sexists, homophobes, whatever. You can vote the way you want. You can pray the way you want. But this league and this team will be run by sane, rational human beings who will be welcoming any and all in who want to be a part of the most glorious game in history, baseball. End of rant. Thank you for giving me that platform, Maddie.
Of course.
I know I probably went a little bit longer than I should have, but yes, I'm Jim Cornette, and that's my opinion.
While you were doing your rant, the Oakland Athletics starting pitcher in 2 innings has almost reached and will reach 50 pitches.
Speaking of the Oakland Athletics, their broadcaster was terminated a few weeks ago.
Comments
for using a racial slur that we will not dignify with comment here, while knowingly live on air. Now, you can give a smidge of a pass to Brenneman because he was of the understanding he was off air. Still shouldn't have said it, still shouldn't have thought it, whatever. But he was under the knowledge that he was off air. This guy knew he was on air, knew he was facing a live camera, and still managed to say that. And we're not talking Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, Dave Chappelle.
It wasn't a stand-up skit.
Use of that particular word. We're not talking in that particular context, which you wouldn't even see in a sporting atmosphere anyway.
The in which he was using the phrase, it was in a statement that they would have used it in a derogatory fashion.
Yes.
Like it was called one thing, and of course they would interpret it and racially call it another thing. So that just shows that some of the old heads from back in the day really shouldn't have these on.
You should not be given a live microphone in this world. At least, okay, you can do what we do. We do a live stream. We do a YouTube podcast. We could, if we were far lesser human beings, and were of Neanderthal thinking say those things and probably get away with it, just as other former radio personalities who used to have you know broadcasts and radio shows that now are resigned to doing strictly
This.
podcasts, subscriber based. But none of us are like that. However, that they're
Insane to me.
well, to us it is insane. To them, it means nothing because you the cultural shift that we saw between 2012 and 2016, 2020, in that 8 year period, we saw things go from batshit to really fucking batshit.
Yeah.
And I can, because I'm a nerd, I'm a book reader, I'm a history guy. I can give you all the breakdowns of political elections and the numbers and everything of why it happened and everything, but I won't go into that detail. But essentially, to put it in a nutshell, the people who refused to vote for Mitt Romney because he was too much of a decent human being to say the things that the other guy who ran in 2016 was willing to say. That's why that guy won. And you can look at the election turnout state by state. The ones who stayed home when Romney ran came out and voted when the other guy ran. That tells you everything you need to know, because he tapped into that blood vessel, that main vein of bigotry, racism, and homophobism is why they came out and voted for him.
Exactly. Well, is there any other news in the? Oh no, we haven't even touched on our fantasy rankings yet.
We haven't even gotten that far. Jesus Christ!
I don't even think we finished the NL West, have we?
No, we finished the we finished the NL West. We're now into Red Stitch Rotisserie, and I will. I will allow our league leader Devin to take the helm here and explain exactly what is going on in our league, as I have fell in 2 days from a 3-point lead in first place down to fifth. So, Dev, dance upon my grave, piss in my mouth, have fun.
Well, first time doing this shit, I'm very surprised with how I'm doing. I don't know. I think 90% of the players I have, if I'm gonna be frank, I don't know, like 90% of them. I'm surprised I'm doing really well. I can't see the standings right now because I'm on my phone, and if I do that, it's gonna kick me. But if I'm still in first place,
all right, I'll do it. In first place in the Red Stitch Rotisserie League is Dev. HGH Stoned Blunting, leading 71.5 to 68 over my brother Justin, who is at 68. Right now it is YouTube battling it out. Third place is our good friend from San Antonio, Casey Lilly, who took us to a good barbecue joint, the old Bang and Swing. He is tied for Justin in second place.
Hey, by the way, San Antonio, next time we come, he'll be legal, and you guys won't be giving a minor liquor.
In fourth place is Matthew. Matthew is in fourth place. You are 2.5 back of second place. And then behind Matthew is the captain at a dismal 10 games out of first.
Hi, Cap. Hello.
Hi, Matthew. Hi. Hey, boys. How you doing? Hey. Hope y'all are doing well.
I haven't been above deck in so many moons.
I hope you two gentlemen are doing just so well. I really hope so. May you sleep so well tonight. You little bastards.
Who's in the brig? Who's at the bottom? Is it still?
Well, in sixth place is the Fontenville Farm Leaguers. Steve Champagne, a good friend of mine. He is a half game behind me. We've got Drew coming in at 53.5. Dave, our cleanup hitter, is actually batting 8 out of 9.
My team is best in the league except for my hitters and pitchers.
Yeah, good old V Trigger has slid to 8th, and bringing up the rear is my good friend from Nashville, Tennessee, Reverend John Russell Rice, who is in dead last.
John, this is what happens when you're not in the draft until the 20th fucking pick has happened. You put money in this league, John.
I mean, we're only in June. There's still a lot of ball to be played. But as I said yesterday on the show, I think my team hit the iceberg yesterday, and I don't think we're ever going to recover from the god awful shit performance that happened.
If Devin,
I'm going to try my damn level best to try and get back there. But what happened yesterday to my team, I don't.
Well, I mean, you dropped Sandy in one day, so
it doesn't come. Well, that was after 2 months of him being. I dropped 6 guys yesterday because they had basically played horribly.
I've done fantasy sports before. I've done this before. I've not done a rotisserie league like this where we had to, put money towards our picks. But I've done.
You did last year. You were in the league last year.
Exactly. I've done this gimmick before. This is this kid's first time, and he genuinely got the beginner's luck. I don't think this kid has ever done a fantasy sport in his life.
Once. It was NFL.
Well, let's just say, should you top me in baseball this year? We still have the RAWBall Fantasy Football League draft.
Should we get a Wilson for that? Like, just get a Wilson that will get some stitching in?
That's gonna be a helmet.
Like no. Oh,
a softball.
No, Devin's got an idea.
A helmet and an engraved team
that we get the stickers for each year. You know, like how Ohio State does.
Yeah.
Let's get a fucking RAWBall helmet that will get stickers for each winner.
Hey, not the worst idea. But we do still have the RAWBall Fantasy Football League to come. Draft TBD. And she'll see. I haven't played fantasy football in 2 years. I took last year off just because of personal what have you.
Oh, shit. The return of Aaron Rodgers' handlebar mustache.
But
Batista's back up in this bitch.
But we will have fantasy football going on during our Sunday shows.
Hey,
so
before we leave football, I do want to shout out the amazing work that Tom Grossi has been doing.
Yes.
For his 30 for 30. Yesterday, he missed his flight to get into, I believe it was Detroit?
Detroit, Cleveland.
No, he did Cleveland. Let me see. I'm going to hop on the Twitter real quick.
Are we still going to try to meet him in Denver?
So I realized that I worked.
You mean stalk him in Denver?
Yeah, well, he's got fan meetings, so we might be able to meet him up and maybe invite him to a dinner or something. But Tom Grossi has proven to be one of the most dedicated motherfuckers I've seen in a long time. Yesterday, I believe he did Buffalo. He missed his flight from Buffalo. And he drove all the way from Buffalo, New York to New England, Boston, Massachusetts. 6.5 hour drive just so he can make the 30 for 30 event. And as of right now, I know that they have well over raised $100,000 for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Hell yeah.
An exceptionally awesome charity.
So big congratulations to a huge friend of the channel. Thank you, Tom Grossi. And you know what, Tom?
Well, here's the thing. Like, St. Jude is one of those things that everyone's heard about but doesn't really know about. And what St. Jude's Children's Hospital is essentially it is a children's hospital that is completely nonprofit. If your child
100%.
is facing a debilitating illness, disease, whatever, your child goes to St. Jude, you are out zero
Because they just
dimes.
want they want the kid to be
They
okay.
are a charity hospital. Whether your kid is facing cancer, is facing, you know, uh, in AIDS, insert the disease. I mean, I know there's a plethora
St.
of them
Jude's
out there.
helps
St.
like
Jude's
a lot of
charges
people
charges nothing.
to save lives,
Yes,
which is
and
insane. And not only is Grossi raising that money for the St. Jude's Children's Hospitals, he's doing some of these fan events at local small businesses. And
yeah,
I believe it was when he was in Chicago or Minnesota. It was one of the first three that he did. He matched every donation that he got that day for St. Jude's Children's Hospital to that small business. So not only is he doing this for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, he's also building up our local businesses.
yes,
Not just like, whenever he comes out to Denver in the 24th of June, but he's doing it to Buffalo. He's doing it to Minnesota, Green Bay. He's going wherever he can to do chaotic good, as he says. So
yes.
please, if you are a fan of ours, if you tune into us and listen to us, go to Tom Grossi's channel. Go to Tom Grossi Comedy on Twitter. Donate to St. Jude's. We asked you guys to donate for the 988, but if you donate to St. Jude's, that helps children. So
We are equally happy.
Yeah.
Yes, we have our what I hope will become our annual fundraise
it's usually gonna be our
streamathon.
annual.
MLB opening day stream against suicide, which
that
is
thunder
the
right here, Devin?
which is the cause,
Yeah,
the common
it's
cause of the Raw
it's
Ball
raining.
podcast is, suicide prevention, which we're hoping next year we can do even better. We were
Oh,
flabbergasted at the results we had this
The
year, and
generosity we got this year.
it's coming down, man.
maybe next year we will do even better. Um, yeah, and as Maddie said, whatever your charity, whether it be suicide prevention, children's hospitals,
Even pets. We
hu-
support
humane societies, whatever your cause, champion it, believe in it, donate to it, work for it.
if
You
you
would
have a
not
cause
you would not believe there is where I got Maggie, the raw ball puppy from, a nonprofit, no kill, humane shelter about 20 miles up the road from where I live. When you donate money to causes like that,
it helps. Even $5 helps immensely.
you have no idea how the most minuscule thing you can do can impact beyond your wildest imagination. We are talking about a 30 something, almost 40-year-old ran private shelter, no kill shelter. They're not operated by the government. They are privately owned and ran, no
to save
kill,
animals.
and it's incredible. You would be mind blown when you got there at the cleanliness, the care, the humanity. It honestly, it blows your mind. Places like that, privately ran humane societies who are no kill facilities that take care of animals. If I wasn't so much a champion of suicide prevention, that would probably be my second.
Yeah.
Third probably literacy. I believe in public libraries, and whatever your cause, whatever you are a champion of,
If you
believe in it, fight for it, donate to it. help it out, because the littlest that you can do for it is going to. It's like, the old, I can pick up a pebble and, toss it into a lake, and those, what we may see as little ripples, are going to affect lives beyond your wildest imagination.
Exactly. Now,
What else do we got to cover?
well, going from the nice news, we've talked about our sports. Let's go into our combat sports. Apparently, Vince McMahon is backstage at Raw tonight.
Oh Christ, no, no!
Lovely.
That could be good. That could be bad. 99.
That can only be bad.
And
Matthew,
Tony Khan,
I have taught you as well as I possibly can.
And apparently Tony Khan is going to announce the first main event for Collision this Wednesday. We already know CM Punk is going to be there. I'm interested to see what the main event's going to be.
Matthew, I have taught you as well as I possibly can. Anytime Vince McMahon sticks his dick into anything, nothing good will happen.
I do follow you there, Cap. But since Devin did ask what left do we have to cover, it's time to cover wrestling. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before was Double or Nothing.
Yes, it was.
I have watched the show, and I have a pretty good, I'd say a pretty good rundown of what we saw.
Okay.
Give it to us.
Buy-in. We saw, and this one was making its rounds on Twitter. We saw the Hardy Boys and Hook versus Ethan Page. Let me pull this up. Versus Page and the Guns. And in this match, we damn near saw Jeff Hardy not just tear his knee, but fucking kill himself.
Yeah, it was scary to look at.
If you go on Twitter and look up Jeff Hardy from Double or Nothing, it was not a pretty sight. We will go on to the unsanctioned match.
That was absolutely terrible.
This was not in order in any way, shape, or form. But yes, the unsanctioned match sucked. I didn't enjoy it. It was actually, I have to admit, it was enjoyable for the spots that I saw. And one of those spots was the 56-year-old Sabu putting himself through a table from the top rope to the outside.
Because why the fuck not?
I lost my shit for that, but it was Sabu. I can't complain. I love myself some Sabu.
I do love Sabu. I had a little bit of a flicker in my cardiovascular cavern.
The next match that it's going to show us is the House of Black Open House Trios title match. This was answered by the acclaimed and daddy ass Billy Gunn. This was a fun match with the ending getting a lot more than it should have, but Billy Gunn basically was the WWE superstar to the indie guys until he got misted in the face.
We still haven't seen Matty Ass either. We haven't seen Matty Ass on Doug Cherry. We haven't seen Matty Ass on RAWBall. Like, we never get to see Matty Ass.
One of these days, perhaps. Next up,
we did get to see the Big Matt Boski.
Go to Greg Cherry's channel to see the Big Matt Boski entrance. It is a
love you, Greg. Thank you so much for everything that you give us.
That was Josh. You can thank Josh for that one. That was Mansfield on that one. We got the TBS title between Taya Valkyrie and Jade Cargill. Again, Jade Cargill proving that she looks a lot better in the ring than a lot of people give her credit for. She gets the win. And immediately after, Smart Mark Sterling challenges anybody on the roster, anywhere, anytime. This was immediately answered by the returning from ACL injury, Chris Statlander, who is now our new TBS Women's Champion. Now, Cap, I know you said some things last night about it. How do you feel about Jade Cargill's reign ending at 60?
If they really wanted to build her to a larger, higher level, I think they would have kept it going. I don't believe you have her drop the belt in this format. This is Tony Khan booking for the sake of Tony Khan booking. And you really, if you're going to build her to the sky rather than just 60-0 drops the belt on a, what was this, the opening match or a dark match or whatever the fuck, the pre-show.
It was actually about halfway through the card. This is giving me all these matches in a really fucked up order.
The 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal.
We will get to that, Cap. I will explain that one in a minute.
I hope you can, because looking at the...
So, we'll move on to Wardlow and Christian real quick, because this match was exactly what it needed to be. Wardlow got the win on Christian, and yeah, hopefully this ends the Christian phase of, your dad's dead, lol.
Yeah, he's really targeting people's dead
Dude, he's
dads.
literally going after people's dead dads.
If Cody was still in there, he'd be next.
Bro, Christian's about to go to WWE and be like, hey, bitch.
Your dad's dead. That's when the fucking Christian comes back to the WWE, starts a rivalry with fucking Stephanie McMahon or Shane. Your dad's dead.
My sadness here is that Wardlow is still only a TNT champion and is in such a low point in the card. He should be.
I will say, and me and Devin talked about this at length through text, this match really showed that Wardlow is a hell of a lot more athletic than they like to lead on. Like, he did the Jeff Hardy Swanton spot off the...
They've mismanaged Wardlow for 2 years now.
Yes, they have. I do agree there.
And he is getting...
lost to Hobbs if he was going to win it right back.
Wardlow is getting up in years, and he needs to either...
Is he really?
He's like 35.
Wardlow age.
Like he's really? Wardlow's getting up there. Like,
how is he 35? How did he not get picked up in his 20s?
Not stupendous, pal.
That is some bullshit. Anyway, speaking of bullshit, let me get on to this Blackjack Battle Royal, which I believe...
Yes, please. Explain to me what the fuck this shit mess was.
This was the actual opening match to the card. This was the weirdest Battle Royal I have ever watched in my life.
More than the reverse Battle Royal?
Bro, there was people battling outside of the ring, people battling inside of the ring to start. Like most Blackjack Battle Royals, people are entered at, staggered entrances per their, their suit, for their cards. That wasn't here for this. All 21 people battling inside the ring, outside the ring. There was people doing spots where they go out of the middle rope so that they can do top rope spots outside of the ring. It was absolute chaos that didn't make sense up until about, I want to say, 10 people left? 10 people left in the match when it became a normal battle royal where people were getting eliminated over the top rope and stuff like that. You would have your normal Royal Rumble style eliminations, the luchadors trying to go up to the top and getting pushed off to get eliminated.
Yeah.
I will, however, say the final of this battle royal was one of my favorite I've ever seen, because the final two were Swerve and Orange Cassidy. And Cap, I know you're not the biggest fan of Cassidy. I know you wish he would actually, work up the fact that he's an actual wrestler a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Cassidy as a champion. Like, I don't mind him being. He's kind of like Danhausen, only less. It's like I enjoy Danhausen. Orange Cassidy just kind of pisses me off, but I don't mind him being there because he can actually work and do some good things once in a while.
The
I just
ending of this match is what sold the entire match for me. It made sense. It fit Cassidy's character to a T. Swerve and Cassidy were brawling on the outside on the apron of the ring. They were working each other. Swerve was about to hit the Devin, what's not the house call, but the package pile driver thing that he
In
does.
your house, isn't it house call and then in your house?
No, house call is that kick that he does. I cannot remember what the fuck it's a I can't even
Uranagi?
No. It's like Pentagon's driver, the Penta driver. I can't remember what the move is called. But anyway, Swerve was going for that. Cassidy broke out of it. He hit Swerve with a move to the point where Swerve was hanging on by one arm to the rope to hang on for dear life. Cassidy was going for his orange punch, or the Superman punch that we like to call. Sees that Swerve is hanging on by one arm, and just like Orange Cassidy would do, walks up and just kicks the arm out from the rope, eliminating Swerve and retaining his title. The beginning of the match made absolutely no sense. It was a crazy, chaotic mess, but the ending, I think, fit it perfectly.
When is Pac ever gonna come back?
Well, I would like to know that answer myself, Devin.
I did like Pac. I enjoyed him.
His work is incredible. He genuinely makes it seem like he hates everybody he works with.
Even his own tag team partners in Death Triangle.
Now, speaking of tag team, we got FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal with Mark Briscoe as a special guest referee for this match. This match I had a lot more fun with than I definitely should have, mostly because I saw Karen Jarrett hit Aubrey Edwards with a guitar.
I don't like Karen Jarrett.
I don't like Karen Jarrett either, but she got a fucking guitar shot, which popped me to no end.
It should have been the other way around. Aubrey should have hit her with the fucking
guitar. That Pop Matthew blow my mind.
But I will say, the match itself was, for no right, fun. The match was fun to watch. If you have a chance, go back and watch it. It's like your typical TNA tag team title match. It works. It fits. Thank you, Jeff Jarrett, for being in the wrestling world.
Yes. No. Thank you, Jeff Jarrett.
There was an AEW women's title match and going on to the world title match. I'm sorry. I can't, with any faith, talk about the Jamie Hayter Tony Storm match. It was absolutely dog shit from start to finish. They had no plan for the match going into the fucking show.
Yes, I will give Dave some props there. I love Pac with the international title. I don't love Orange with it. I don't mind Orange. I don't mind Orange being there, but not with a belt on him.
Now, the only thing I'd say that Orange fits the international title is it's not even looked at as like the mid-card title, because that's the TNT title.
If you're going to call something, okay, television is here. World title is here. International needs to be somewhere. You need to elevate the international title to about right here to where it's close to being a world. Orange Cassidy is not a challenger to MJF.
No.
God damn it.
What I'm saying is you're saying that Orange Cassidy's title is more prestigious than Samoa.
Should be. The international title should be close to the world title. And Orange Cassidy, I'm not hating on you, Orange. I don't hate your gimmick. I don't hate you. You have a place in this business. But putting what should be the second most important belt in the company on you is complete bullshit.
I understand that, Dave. But we could have prolonged the match. We could have prolonged it to All In, which it should have been.
I've prolonged my circumcision for 36 years, and I'm still here.
Unless you truly think that Hayter versus Mercedes Monet was going to happen, Hayter versus Storm should have been the all-in match in England. That's my whole 100% honest opinion. The International right now projects as the IC title back in the days of Savage, where that was the workhorse title. Now, I will say,
Dave, if you are about to goddamn compare
no. I see.
Find out where the fuck you live and punch you right in the schnoz.
Now, I see where Dave is coming here, Cap, because Cassidy has well over 20 defenses as this champion already. In different.
I don't care if he has 200. He's Orange goddamn Cassidy.
But he's won every match he's been in as champion against legitimate threats.
I've won every divorce proceeding I've ever been in as defendant. That does not make me the greatest husband in history.
What I'm trying to do is Davey's got a point with Cassidy has been putting on the workhorse performances. He's defended it a fuck ton. And I think Cassidy's earned his due. He's just got to slip this nonchalant gimmick. Like, yeah, it's like I said, being a stoner isn't a gimmick. Matt Riddle, as he isn't a gimmick. You can't just be nonchalant and have that as your gimmick.
Put the title on Cassidy. Put the international title on Wardlow or Starks
or Miro.
No, Miro's back, and I'm excited.
Or Jay White or someone who legitimately deserves it.
Now give the belt to Jay White, and that's how you fucking elevate that title. That's how you elevate that title.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that is where I was saying David had a point. I was not comparing Savage and Orange as equals, just how the belt is defended, which is very similar. Because Savage would defend against anybody.
Dave, I love you too much to badmouth you beyond just the normal RAWBall bullshit. But my brother, please give your head a shake. You cannot put Cassidy.
Cassidy's good, Cap.
You cannot put Cassidy even. Like, okay, when this show's over, I'm going to walk out that door. I'm going to go into my upstairs bathroom, and I'm going to take a piss. That is basically what Orange Cassidy is to the wrestling business.
Oh,
and then this weekend, I'm going to make some fucking awesome tomato sauce, homemade meatballs, braciole. That is what Randy Savage is to the business. Please, Dave, I'll forgive you for your Kenny Omega love because you're Canadian and you're probably just, misguided. But Orange, goddamn Cassidy, shit.
Bro.
At least Kenny can do a great match with an Okada, an Ibushi, a Bryan Danielson. Please do not put Cassidy in. Dave, don't do this. I'm begging you. I love you, Dave. I give you a pass for so many things because I love you. But if you start throwing Orange Cassidy into some level of reverence or relevance.
Now, Cap, Davey might have just reconciled that by saying Jay White and the Bullet Club versus CMFTR. That gets
I would love
Jay
to see
White
that
against CM Punk.
You put CM Punk anywhere in professional wrestling, it's going to draw a crowd because CM Punk is the greatest goddamn thing to happen in professional wrestling since Steve goddamn Austin.
But with them working with Punk and FTR, Davey says that gets Jay on the front page of Wrestling News.
Yes, it does.
Now, here. This is a little bit more endorsement for Orange. Cap, I know you don't know much about Katsuyori Shibata, but you know about Ospreay.
I do.
They requested specifically to work with Orange. They see something in him that he doesn't show, I think. Because Osprey is willing to do business with him. That means Osprey sees him as a talent worthy.
Osprey could make him join United Empire and break his nonchalant character and become more of
crazy that would be.
to more an aggressive.
Okay, I am 36 years old. I have lived a long life and I've had a lot of experiences. My two best friends in this world are 25 and 20. I presently do a show with them. You're looking at them both right now. There is a reason that I see these two young men as my equals. And hey, here's why they have it in here. They have it in here, and they have it in here. These guys both have brains, heart, and balls. Orange Cassidy, I'm sorry, my friend. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you, but you do not deserve this spot. I hang out with, I go to the Royal Rumble every year with guys 15 years my junior. And why? Because I respect them because they've got more going on up here and in here than most people my age or older do.
Speaking of
Jesus Christ on a hill
that are ridiculously young and doing way more than they should. This match should have been the main event, but they went with it as the co-main event, and it still baffles me. The Pillars
because MJF is the smartest motherfucker in professional wrestling, and he wasn't about to follow the stupid horseshit bullshit deathmatch god awful horse crap.
It would have ended on a better note.
No, because he understands the mind of the degenerated mind of the modern wrestling fan who is going to see Anarchy in the Arena as being better than a Fatal 4-Way World Championship match.
I'm not going to lie. As someone that likes their death matches, someone that likes hardcore chaos, I enjoyed Anarchy in the Arena. I would have 1,000% put the Pillars Fatal 4-Way as the main event, because if they would have done the same performance, it still would have outshone Anarchy in the Arena.
Yeah.
That's my wholehearted opinion.
Because you are an intelligent young man, Matthew. But here's the thing: you are smarter than the average doofus who watches this crap, who thinks that Anarchy in the Arena is even worthy of being on a fucking pay-per-view, let alone television.
Okay. I will say, I feel Anarchy in the Arena belonged on the pay-per-view. Did it belong in the main event spot? No.
Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks don't belong anywhere near professional wrestling.
This match was very fun. That I will say that much. This match was fun for me. But going into the should have been main event, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, I Hate You, Sammy Guevara, and MJF. This may have been the single greatest Fatal 4-Way I've ever seen. In terms of story, in terms of them working well together, in terms of MJF winning the fucking match by beating Darby Allin with a headlock takeover. Again. Like Davey here says, it's MJF is your 1980s going into your early 90s Ric Flair. MJF is...
Well, thank God we've got some deliverance from evil.
MJF did this match beautifully. He did insane shit. Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and Sammy Guevara, they took the brunt of doing the insane shit. But MJF did this match exactly how he needed to. Sammy Guevara did this match exactly as he needed to. Darby Jack Perry.
I love Jack Perry. I just wish he would, get his dick out of his ear. And I like Sammy Guevara to a degree. He just needs to get his dick out of his ear. So scroll down to where Forget the fucking goddamn preliminaries. Nobody gives a fucking shit about them. Fuck preliminaries. They're not. I don't believe in
Which
pre-show matches. All right, where do we start the show at? Where does the actual show start?
So the buy-in and this was your opener.
Okay, scroll up.
So from here,
Up. Stop. Okay, so 21. All right, so we start the show off with
a battle.
Kenny. We start. No. If I'm booking it, we're starting the show off with Kenny and the Bucks and Dipshit and whomever. I'm sorry, Brian Danielson, that you have to be involved in this goddamn crap. That's going to be my opener because I'm getting the bullshit out of the way first.
Anarchy in the Arena easily could have been the opening to the show. I feel
then
100%.
Then we're going to
They
go.
had to go Battle Royal to start the show.
Then we're going with Kenny and the Dipshits to start the show out. Sorry, Brian Danielson, that you have to be involved there. Then we're going to go with the AEW Women's Championship. We're going to redeem the show a little bit.
But if that's the same match that happened, I wouldn't want it. I would much rather have Kaya Valkyrie versus Jade Cargill on that.
No, again, they put that on the pre-show, so forget it. It doesn't count. Pre-shows don't count. Pre-shows are for
the only pre-show.
Pre-shows are horse shit. Forget pre-shows.
The only pre-show was this. The show started with the Battle Royal.
Oh shit! So that they put the rest of that shit on pay-per-view?
Yes.
Yep.
Holy fuck! Okay, scroll back down.
So other than the buy-in match, Adam Cole versus Jericho on the show.
Okay, okay, so Kenny and the Dipshits are going on first. That's going to be match number 1.
Okay.
Go back down. All right. Next, we're going to have the Trios bullshit title, House of Black, whatever the fuck. Okay.
That match was very fun. I will say that was very fun to watch.
Next is going to be the TBS with Valkyrie and Cargill, what the fuck ever.
And then you had the return with Statlander, so that would have been a big moment for the show.
Then next is going to be this 21-man blackjack bullshit.
I feel like those matches are more suited for middle of the card as like your breather.
Your piss match.
Okay, so next is going to be, if I'm booking this, we're going to go World Tag Team titles, FTR versus Jarrett and Jay Lethal, because they can redeem the show at this point.
And they kind of did at that point in the show that they were at. They were very enjoyable.
Following that is going to be Wardlow and Christian and for another championship match. And then if we're going to have an unsanctioned match, even if it's with an asshole and a guy who weighs half as much as I do, it's going to be Cole and Jericho.
Cole has put weight on since his injury.
He needs to basically live at a Waffle House for about a month. Okay, so scroll back up. So we basically we're saving the unsanctioned match. That's going to be our co-main event, and I'm going to tell Jericho and Cole go out there and fucking be all-stars, and then the world title is going to be the main event.
If haters hurt, just don't have the fucking match.
Yeah.
If you're going to do the match the way they did it, just don't have the fucking match.
Championships take precedent over feuds unless that feud is so goddamn hot that it is just the people are just fucking popping.
Now, with what Davey said, I will agree. The ending had the surprise with Takeshita turning on Kenny. You'd still have that heat had that been co-main event.
Well, I'm booking this based off the card that it's given. If I'm the booker, Kenny Omega and the Bucks don't even have jobs.
Exactly, Kat. But like,
so I'm booking this based on the talent that I have.
If that match had to be there, and in my mind, I would literally just swap. Like the way that they ordered the show was fun. It was very good. I would have just swapped Anarchy in the Arena for the Fatal 4-Way. Because the Fatal 4-Way was just that much better. Now, in my defense, you could have still had that cliffhanger. Hey, Takeshita just joined the BCC and turned on Omega. Had that been co-main event, because guess what? We're going into the meat and potatoes, the AEW World Title, your most important fucking story,
which should be the main event, followed by the unsanctioned between Jericho and Cole. If you're actually going to try and do something with Adam Cole, you need to make him and Jericho be a goddamn bloodbath.
Oh,
and then
fun fact about that match, Cap. That match ended with, it was an unsanctioned match, right?
Yep. I don't want
referee stoppage.
Which it cannot happen in an unsanctioned goddamn match.
It didn't make.
It was a garbage fire.
Jesus! If it's unsanctioned, there is no fucking referee.
And then after.
Oh!
And then after that, fucking, you had a promo with Jericho and Saraya challenging Britt and Cole to a match on Wednesday. Like, again, it just didn't make sense. Oh, thank you, Dave. Apparently, Takeshita and Dawn have not joined the BCC, but they're going to be on their own.
The BCC died when William Regal left. I'm sorry.
There's no Blackpool in the Blackpool Combat Club. And yes, well, here's the thing, Dave. It was fun because you had the Sabu spot. You had the random interferences. It was fun to watch, but no, the match itself was not fucking good.
Jericho is not going to put Cole over. That's why Jericho would not have a spot on my roster, because if I'm trying to build a guy who's 30-something versus a guy who's 50-something, you are going to put his ass over. I'm sorry, Jericho. Fuck you. You are past your prime. You've been past your prime for 20 fucking years. Put the young guy over.
But
Jesus.
I will say, overall, the Double or Nothing show delivered. It was a show that was sold on Anarchy in the Arena and the Pillars Fatal 4-Way. Both of those matches delivered. So the show itself was not a flop. But going into a show that we don't have any idea really of, Money in the Bank is coming up in less than a month, boys.
Is I don't think any matches have been announced for Money in the Bank apart
We
from
had a couple entrants.
we know there's going to be the women's Money in the Bank and the men's Money in the Bank.
And we have some qualifiers. LA Knight, Ricochet, and Zelina Vega.
Well, yeah, I'm saying we know there's going to be the men's ladder match, the women's ladder match, but there's no main event yet. Like, we don't know is Roman going to get off his fucking ass and defend the belt?
I've seen it being
for Money in the Bank.
I didn't see him scheduled, but I heard that it might be Roman versus Jimmy.
I was about to say, Roman has not been scheduled for Money in the Bank, and that's been a plan since early in, like, March.
Are we going to get Cody Brock 3? Fuck you, Brock.
We might get Cody Brock 3, but we're guaranteed a Seth Rollins title defense.
Yeah.
Well, which will redeem the show, but
so
Money in the Bank has always been probably my least favorite WWE pay-per-view because it's just such a hoo-ha bullshit.
Probably going to be Seth versus Dom. Probably going to be Seth versus Dom.
I think Seth Rollins is going to be the main event of this show. With no Roman,
I agree.
The WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
If Roman is resigned to working less than the Brock schedule, which means Roman shows up 4 times a year and defends the belt maybe twice, Seth has to carry that load. And if
he has in the past.
No, I mean, trust me, if I'm booking WWE and Roman is like if I'm inserted as Booker right now and I'm looking at Roman's, okay, I can't use you, so I'm just gonna not use you. I'm just gonna make you sort of just kind of a pissant. I'm gonna be using Seth to get guys over in world title matches where he retains but still gets guys over.
Making people like Dom look good.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I know I catch a lot of flack on this. Dom Mysterio is so over as a fucking heel chicken shit little pain in the ass. Testicles so small you could roll them through a drinking straw. It'd look like two kernels of corn rolling through a storm drain asshole heel. Seth can get him over. Why not? Ugh.
Davey just put in a bunch of matches that we should keep our eyes open for. But let's talk about who we think is going to win Money in the Banks to end the show. So we've got men's Money in the Bank, women's Money in the Bank. The favorites so far are LA Knight to win the men's. And for the women's, I think I saw fucking
Bailey.
Oh my god! No,
If Knight is
Joey Stark.
No. If you're serious about putting Knight and Boogs together as Boogie Knights, Knight shouldn't even be in this match. He should be in a tag team match on the undercard to establish that tag team.
But he already turned on him, didn't he?
No, not yet.
I thought after their tag match, LA attacked Boogs.
On Friday?
Yeah, their first tag match that they had. He attacked him after the match. I don't
Money
think
in the Bank should either go to Austin Theory or Dominic Mysterio, preferably Austin.
Won last year though and didn't win.
I don't see Theory winning
because they completely fucked over and totally ruined any momentum he had. Austin Theory should be the main guy to challenge Seth either at SummerSlam or Mania. I'm not sure.
I see him challenging at SummerSlam.
Possibly SummerSlam, which is but either Austin Theory or Dom, because the rest of that fucking roster, I mean, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't piss on the rest of them if they were on fire.
We could put him against Omos again.
Fuck Omos.
Is Lashley going to be in the Money in the Bank?
Oh, I think Lashley's
Fuck Lashley. He's goddamn 45 years old. Retire already. You are worthless.
He looks as good as he did when he was in his 20s.
He can look as good as he did when he was 20s, but nobody gives a flying fuck. Fuck Lashley. Get him out of there. Release him from his contract. He does nothing but take up a spot that could be taken up by a young guy who you're trying to push who's in his 20s versus a guy who's in his goddamn 40s who doesn't draw fucking shit. Bobby Lashley doesn't draw a goddamn dime.
And yeah, Davey does got a point here. LA Knight is a former world champion. Look at his Impact run. And he can actually carry it very well.
I feel like LA Knight should win.
Davey. I'm sorry to insert reality into your world, but Impact, TNA, Ring of Honor, nobody gives a flying fuck. Those promotions have been ran into the ground to the point that they are not relevant. Nobody who has.
The point is they're able to still hold a title and work with it. There's proof that they can work with it.
Davey, I agree with the women's one.
Having had a championship run in Impact or Ring of Honor is essentially me having a run as the local beer drinking champion. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing because nobody gives two flying fucks about Impact or Ring of Honor. I'm sorry.
Mickey James brought the Impact Women's title to the Royal Rumble that one year.
Yeah.
Those promotions had their chance and they failed 20 fucking years ago. They're somehow still on life support from Tony Khan's billions, and how the fuck Impact is still around? Jesus Christ.
Impact is the definition of a trench fighter. They have kept themselves relevant somehow by hook or by crook for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I gotta give it to
Only
them.
recently have they really come back to prominence in actual in-ring work.
True.
But
and I give two flying fucks because they're not even. AEW is dog shit, but they're still number 2 next to WWE, and AEW could be up here if they only had a fucking booker. Impact, Ring of Honor, I could give 2 flying fucks.
Unfortunately, Ring of Honor now falls under the AEW banner, so it'll never get to any prominence like it had in the early 2000s.
I feel like New Japan's above AEW in the sense of longevity and
in terms
crowd?
of longevity, yes.
And the crowd?
Longevity, yes. But the thing is, New Japan and All Japan have always been just feeding grounds for North America. And we now find ourselves in this god-awful goddamn crossroads where you've got Gomez Adams running the biggest wrestling company on the planet and running it so fucking goddamn bad that even fucking marks who sit in the front row don't realize how goddamn bad it's being ran. Then you've got AEW, which could fucking put Vince out of business if they had one fucking testicle and a shred of intelligence, and they're fucking shit up on royal levels, minus selling out Wembley, which I am excited to see. I know, Tony Khan, you are going to fuck that up like you have fucked everything else up, like you didn't fire fucking Omega, like you didn't fire the fucking Bucks, and you didn't keep the belt on fucking CM Punk for goddamn 10 years. Now, fuck you, Tony Khan. Fuck you, Kenny Omega. Fuck the Young Bucks. Fuck every goddamn thing Tony Khan is doing.
I will say that Wembley show does have potential to be one of the best shows we see in a long time.
Allowing Kenny and the Bucks to have even the minuscule little say-so in how a professional wrestling company is being run versus a guy like CM Punk, who is the best thing in pro wrestling since Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I would have done? I would have fired Omega, fired the Bucks, given Punk a raise, and put in his contract that he gets to hold the title for 2 years if it gets rid of those fucking shitbags. I don't care if he got out of line at the press conference, and he wasn't out of line. He was more in line than ever. And fuck Jericho for God.
Now,
damn it.
I'm with Davey here. The goal was never to overthrow or put WWE out of business.
It should be! Put the competition out of business!
We're here to build wrestling as a whole.
We're not here to build wrestling. We're here to put fucking Gomez Adams in the fucking grave. And then, once WWE is fucking dead, then we can build professional wrestling again. But until WWE is dead and goddamn buried, you cannot resurrect professional wrestling. Tony Khan had a shot. He fucking blew it.
To that, I will just say, we will see. But before we move on, is there anything else with the Money in the Bank that you gentlemen would like to talk about?
No.
Not me personally. I'll have to see the card first.
All right. And we'll probably get that within the next, I want to say 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But other than that, hey, for a show that didn't have any fucking plan going into it, we got a damn good show out of it.
Yeah,
you got me ramped up.
I don't think I have anything else to add.
Well, Cap, since the blood is boiling, tempers are flaring, is there anything else you would like to say before we start signing off?
Watch the RAWBall podcast every Monday. We got the Battle of the Soxes coming up the end of June. Home Run Derby, All-Star Game, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. And then once the summer is over, it is straight into NFL season where the three of us get to just sit back for about 12 hours a day, drink beer, and just have a shitload of fun at each other's expenses watching our respective teams flame out.
Oh, yeah, no, this is going to be a very interesting season. What did I have my fucking predictions at this season? I had like 11-6.
Let's see here.
If I have 11 or 6 or 12 and 5, I'm so fucking ruined.
I believe I have the Broncos. We had them at 7 and 10.
That's what you had.
No, yeah, I had them at 7 and 10. Maddie had them 10 and 7. Dev 5 and 12.
Okay, 10 and 7. If Denver doesn't make it past 10 and 7, I'll be a very sad boy.
But yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the RAWBall podcast for week 15. Sorry we missed last week, but
it was Memorial Day.
For the Cap, for Devin, for me, Maddie, I would like to remind you guys to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Go donate to your charity that you feel is worth it.
Please do. Fight for your cause.
Children's Hospital, whether it be the 988, whether it be for your local humane societies. Donate and support your local charities. And Tom Grossi, you are doing the Lord's work. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
The RAWBall podcast.
We love you.
And ladies and gentlemen, ball out with the RAWBall podcast. We will see you guys next week or probably this weekend for some baseball. We'll get on that later. But ladies and gentlemen,
we shall see.
Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.